Hi everyone. Gonna do things a little bit different right now. I'm still trying to figure out what direction I want to go with my company, with how I want to do my videos / my Facebook page, and I'm going to start a blog eventually. I've got it kind of set up, but there's no content yet. Basically, I haven't had time yet to do that. It's kind of hard to do as much stuff as I really like. I'm inspired to do it, but I got to stop all the time because of mom duties and all that. So, anyways, I was gonna kind of switch gears a little bit this time and not do a video just on like by working out, eating, etc., etc. I will throw in witchy videos here and there as well, because I feel like you can't just focus on, you know, the food and the nutrition. You also got to focus on your spiritual well-being and your mental well-being, and that's where my spirituality comes in play with this. Like, you got to have the mind body spirit connection, so you can't just have, you know, the body. You got to still handle your mental stuff. You got to handle, you know, your spirit. You got to feed your soul, basically, and they all go together. It's kind of like the organs of your body. You can't just focus on one area, because, like, okay, for instance, if you don't take care of your body and you're a smoker, you know, most people automatically assume, okay, well, your lungs are going to go to shit. Well, eventually it goes to other systems. Like, it doesn't just stay isolated in your lungs. Like, it'll affect your cardiovascular system. You know, if you end up with cancer, that can get in your lymph nodes. It travels to your body. You can get cancer in the brain. You can get cancer anywhere from smoking. It just depends on how advanced it is and how far it's traveled. So, kind of the same deal here. Like, you can't just focus on the body, because you can't really get the results with your body if you don't have your mind in the right place. And you, like, because, you know, how many times you hear people tell other people that you're not going to get results if you can't get in the headspace. Like, you're going to have bad days, stuff's going to come up. You still have to get past that mentally. You need to, you know, focus and push through those hard days. And you can only do that if you have a strong mind. And, you know, everyone has a story. Everyone has some major something that they've gone through in their life, and nobody's story is the same. So, you know, I feel like your life's journey to a point is dealing with your karmic garbage, so to speak. So, my personal garbage would be my childhood, which was very fucked up, very stuff that you would see in a movie, I would think, because it doesn't seem like, I wouldn't think it's a normal childhood at all. Like, lots of abuse, domestic, sexual, you know, etc., etc. And, you know, let's see, I'll be 30 this year. Jesus. But I'm gonna be 30 this year, you know, and the stuff that's happened to me is like decades old, but it's still something I struggle with on a daily basis. It's still something I have to, you know, deal with. You can't just, oh, it was in the past, it's done. Like, it's never ever officially 100% resolved, because it's part of who I am. So I'm constantly, like, I know I'm jumping around. It's hard for me to plan this when I'm just going on the fly. So, you know, they say life's not a linear, it's spiral. So you will revisit the same issues throughout your whole life, but every time you come back around that cycle, you'll have a different view or a different take on it, or, you know, you'll see it in a different way, or you'll deal with it in a different way. And so I'm trying to do that right now. I'm like, we'll have to get into one of those deep couch sessions with me someday, because I've got all kinds of horror stories to tell you. But I try not to focus on the bad parts of my life. I try to focus on using them as learning points. And basically, since I had such a not a good example growing up, I try to use that as my basis of how to raise my kids, because I don't have a good example to follow. So I'm basically doing what I would have wanted as a child myself, / not do what I was raised around. So definitely winging it, but I think so far we're doing a good job. So I guess this isn't going to be the start of my witchy video yet. I think I'll start a separate one, since I kind of just bleh on you, all this, you know, emotional blah. I guess it'd be a good thing to, you know, just kind of explain where I'm at right now with vision, I guess to call it, what I want to achieve. I want to get myself out there. I want people, you know, to be inspired by what I do. You know, I want to help people in their journey because, like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not, like, I know I'm not overweight, but that doesn't mean I'm healthy, doesn't mean I'm fit. And like, it's a constant process. I still have to struggle with my eating because I have all these eating issues. You know, it's not so much overeating, it's not eating enough for myself, and being how my work schedule is so screwy and I'm constantly split between nighttime, daytime. I have a hard time remembering to eat. Plus, I'm busy taking care of 2 kids, so it's like putting myself last a lot. So working out, eating right, that's my, you know, something I struggle with. And working out, like, dude, I wake up every morning and I do not want to get up because a lot of times babies got me up all night and then I'm tired. I don't want to wake up and work out. That's the last thing I want to do. Or, you know, trying to do it when I just worked a 12-hour night at the hospital with crazy patients all night. And then I come home to 2 kids that need me, and I'm like, and I gotta still work out. So, you know, I get that. I understand it's hard. It's not always motivating. You know, it's always fun to say you're gonna do something, but to actually do it is a whole nother story. So, anyways, you know, and I've gotten, all right, I gotta do a little backtrack because I know I used to have a lot of witchy videos. I deleted most of them because I feel like I've grown since then and I could do better. So I kind of want to revisit some topics and kind of redo them because I've learned so much more. Those who have just found me or don't know much about me personally in my spiritual part of my life, I don't know where to begin. I was actually part of a group of pagans, like-minded people, whatever you want to call us. I went through 3 years of studying for clergy, and I got ordained. I've done many weddings. I've led many rituals, mostly around Sabbaths. I've usually kept the moon rituals and all that to myself, like for home, because it was too hard to get everyone else's schedules on the same page. I was the treasurer of my group, and sometimes I would do secretarial work because we didn't really actually have a secretary. They just kept coming and going, and we couldn't seem to find a solid person to take that third leg. And I was basically being groomed to take over the group someday because our leader, you know, she's gonna be 70 this year, and she was not feeling like doing all the work anymore. She's tired of taking all the responsibility and kind of just wants to, you know, enjoy her crone age. So I always had it planned that, you know, I was training under her to learn how to run this group. Well, to make a long story short, this last year, we actually ended up disbanding the group. We were going to wait until Yule. We ended up doing it at Mabon, even though I didn't even know that we were doing it on Mabon until I got there to celebrate Mabon. So that was my last official ritual, and I took it really hard. It wasn't something I wanted to do. I understood why she did it, because between the 2 of us and me having 2 babies, like, it's too much work and it's too hard to keep up with it with just the 2 of us. And legally we can't keep the group together if we don't have a third person, and we had nobody that was qualified to take over for secretary. We had a woman who was nice enough to let us use her name to do the legal paperwork part of being a legalized church, but, you know, it was just a ticking time bomb. When was she gonna finally say it? She wasn't gonna do it either, you know. And like I said, my leader didn't want to have the responsibility anymore, and I wanted to take over, but then it would leave me in the same situation. I would still be doing everything myself, and like I said, trying to do that with 2 young children is not a feasible thing at the moment. So so yeah, I kind of went, I don't want to call it ghost, but I kind of feel that way. I kind of went MIA after a while. I had a really hard time emotionally dealing with it. It's a big part of my life. We'd meet every Sabbath, and now I feel like I've got nowhere to take my kids to. Like, we do have a metaphysical church I could go to, but, like, I don't know. I feel like I put so much time and energy into our own group that to start all over again in another group is just, I don't know if I'm mentally prepared for that, and I don't know how well they would receive my children because they're so young and they don't well, the baby's a baby, and, you know, my toddler's still, he follows directions to a point, but he's still very headstrong, and we're still learning boundaries, and so I don't know how much they'd be willing to work with little children, you know, in regards to rituals, or if they'd want me to lead them somewhere and not bring them, but I don't want to not bring my kids to my functions, you know. I feel like it's important for them to be there to learn and to understand what I do, or what I do. So, like I said, I kind of went AWOL for a while, kind of went inward. I was pregnant at the time when the split happened, so I was focusing on my pregnancy and trying to just get through that. And, you know, he's only 4 months old right now, so, you know, I haven't been without him inside me for a while. It's only been a few months, and I started my Beachbody shortly after I had him, so I haven't been doing that super long yet, but it's a work in progress. Sorry, he's over here chewing himself. So, you know, in the long term, I would like to eventually, like, get all my knowledge, because I've had 3 years of training, and I've been doing this since, shoot, I think 2000 something, 2005, 2007, somewhere around there. I've been in this group. I think I joined the group in 2007, but I've been practicing since 2000. At that time I was in junior high, you know, as a child. I couldn't practice at home because it wasn't supported in my home. But on my own, I've been practicing since about 2007 with an active group. So it's been, you know, a good 10 years. And to just have it stop was not easy. I didn't know really how to handle it. But I would like to eventually get all the knowledge that I've accumulated, and all the, you know, I have a shit ton of papers and folders, and I guess you can call them grimoires. I've got books upon books of stuff that I've gathered over the years, and I would like to, like, organize it and actually figure out what I actually practice, what I believe, you know, what I want my children to learn and what I want them to carry on, and, you know, start an actual family tradition, something, you know, for my family to teach my boys. And, you know, I'm actually thinking about making myself my permanent circle. I've been thinking about it for a few years, because we've lived here since the winter of 2013. So, you know, it's been a few years, but I had 2 kids. Like I said, things got put on the back burner, all my big plans, because I had to deal with babies and, you know, financial issues because of babies. You know, they take up a lot of money when they're born, so, you know, taxes are going to other things at the moment. But eventually I'd like to put my extra money into the house and doing things in the yard, like building my circle. I have, you can kind of see it, my little witchy house back there. It's about a 500 square foot house. It's got 2 rooms in it. It's got a sink, toilet, all that good stuff. But that was my witchy house. It needs paint. You know, it just needs some little fixer-upper crap. But it's stuff that requires money. I don't have that right now, and I don't have the time. I can't just drag both kids with me all over. Just doing yard work is like a big production, because usually one of them wants something, or one's getting into something. I gotta keep my eyes on everybody, and it's a lot of work. But that's part of what I'd like to do. I would like to make my own tradition, solidify it, maybe eventually down the road once my kids are older. I would like to maybe start the group up again if I can find enough people to make it legal. Or I might just do it a non-legal group until I can find enough people to make it legal. But that's down the road. I'd like to, you know, keep working on my Beachbody business, and, you know, I'd like to be successful in that. I still feel like I'm in the training phase. You know, I feel like I still don't understand everything in regards of how the business works and what I have to do every month. And, like, I feel like I need to have a list of, like, this is what I'm supposed to do on a daily basis or a weekly basis, and la-da-da. Like, I'm still figuring stuff out. So we're working on that, working on the babies, working on a house, you know, working on spiritual. I'm slowly getting my feet wet again on getting back in touch with my witchy stuff. I think watching my friend Krista, aka Piper, she's on YouTube. She does twice a month live videos or live chats or whatever you want to call them, about a topic about witchy stuff. And it's kind of getting me, like, you know, feeling more confident in doing it again by myself, because it's been a long time since I've done anything solitary. And it's you know, a lot of work in its own regard, because you don't have another person to bounce your ideas off of or make plans or trade off holidays. You're then doing every holiday by yourself. So, and like I said, 2 kids adds a whole nother ball of stress and being able to do stuff. So yeah, yep. Like, I still do like my normal, like, everyday witchy stuff, but to me it's like, it's just habit now, like my smudging and charting crystals and all that crap. Like, that's just what I do. It's just part of what I do. And to do like extra stuff, I feel like I need to do more, especially since like my oldest is gonna be 3 this year, so he's gonna be slowly getting to that part of his life where he starts wanting to learn stuff and following directions. And, you know, I remember my stepdaughter being young, and around his age is when she kind of got interested in my stuff. And, you know, I tried to, well, I couldn't really go all pagan on her because, you know, she was not pagan and her mother isn't pagan. So, you know, I would just teach her the basic stuff, like, you know, treating animals nicely and taking care of nature and how to garden and things like that. But being that these are my children, I can teach them a little bit more about the spiritual side of things, about spirits and, you know, fairies and all that fun stuff. And we got such a huge yard. Like, that little house is not even half of my yard. My yard goes like way past that. I don't know if you can see it. It's like, my yard's enormous, but it goes way past. Those trees are like the middle of my backyard. And I got a huge field out in the back, and it's got my garden out there, my fire pit's out there, and eventually I'll build my circle out there. I've got one tiny issue, which is I have this crazy old lady who lives over there. She's gotta be like in her 90s. She gets really feisty, and she likes to stare at me all the time when I'm out there having a fire, and she threatened to call the cops on me because I had a fire, even though we have a burn permit. Like, she's just, you know, whatever. But I don't feel like I can focus as much on my witchy stuff out there in the circle once I build it if she's sitting there at the window staring at me. And I'm like, so I kind of want some kind of a plant, like a tree or bushes, I don't know, something that'll grow big and full and, you know, kind of block her backyard view from my backyard view, because I don't really like being watched, and that's the only part back there that anybody can see me. Otherwise, like, my neighbors over here, their house is right next to me right here, so they're not able to see way back there. And then my other neighbor on my other side doesn't see way back there because that's not his yard anymore, it's her yard. So, you know, she's the only one who can see. And then my whole backyard, like the back, is just woods. And the whole other side over here is all woods, so there's no people, it's just her. So, eventually, privacy is needed. Another one of my to-do list things. And plus I need to buy another tree for the baby. I got a cherry tree from Parker, and now the baby's here, I need to get him a little tree too to plant for him to have growing here. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting off topic again. I got all my thoughts are like, it's not easy. I'm lucky because the oldest is napping right now, so I'm like, ooh, I better get all this stuff on here before he wakes up. Yay, or before the baby starts crying. He's happy as crap right now. Yeah. He's playing with himself. He's kicking his fat little legs, bouncing. So yes, Beachbody stuff, working on that. Witchy stuff, I kind of want to start doing, I don't know, I was thinking I could go through my, work that I've done for the last 3 years of my clergy training and kind of turn those into videos, I guess. To kind of share what I've done or share the information that I've gathered. Because I feel like those 3 years worth of classes, or whatever you want to call them, assignments, they kind of give you a more solid grasp on your spirituality, or what it's about, like what the foundation is. This is like, I feel like the first year assignments are the basics. Like, I don't understand how people can call themselves pagan if they don't understand what these are. Like, I'm talking elements, like basic crystals. I'm not saying you gotta be some crystal guru, but know some basic stuff about basic crystals, or like, you know, quartz and rose quartz and amethyst, like lapis lazuli, you know, normal, basic, like common ones, not like some crazy stuff like moldavite. Like, I don't expect you to know about that, but, you know, just everyday kind of crystals, chakras, shoot, I don't even know what else I got in here, tools, different magical tools, meditation, we might skip, there's a couple assignments I wasn't too much of a fan of, so I might skip those. But, you know, we focused on the Sabbath especially, because those are pretty important. Those are about those are holidays, like those are our holy days. You should know that kind of stuff. Different journals, rocks, animals, like, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of crap. So eventually I would like to do like some witchy videos intermixed with the rest of my videos. You know, this is my life, so it's hard for me to separate. Sorry, I feel like I got thorn in my thumb. I was pulling thistle out of my garden. I was stupid and put a thistle bird feeder up there, and duh, the birds dropped seeds, and I've got thistle growing everywhere, and those are pokey and they're irritating, and now I'm trying to kill them, and it's not easy. So I'm getting them stuck on my thumb as I'm trying to get rid of them. Yay for cloudy days. It makes it sound so hot outside. So, I'm sorry. I didn't sleep good last night, so I feel like my brain's like rambling, and hopefully you guys are keeping up with me. I'm really sorry. But that's kind of my like loose plan of what I want to do. Hopefully you guys stick around with me. I think I'm going to try to knock out my first witchy video in a while, now that you kind of got a feel for what I'm aiming at here. You know, it's my life. It's hard, like I can't just separate it all. It's me. This is me. Raw, real, witchy stuff, fitness stuff, mom stuff. That's pretty much my life right now. So, take it or leave it. I'm not expecting, you know, the people that do my, follow my health and stuff, like, I'm not sitting here trying to convert people. That's not my goal. You know, if you want to watch my witchy videos, great. You know, I'm always up for helping other people. And that goes for all regards. I'm up for helping support people with their workouts. I'm here to support you with your food, nutrition choices, try to give you better ideas, how to get more water, how to eat better snacks, la la la, avoid that donut in the break room, you know, whatever. But I'm also here for the spiritual stuff. Like, even if you're not pagan of any kind, sometimes it's just nice to know some random information in case you did meet a pagan on the street. Like, you don't know. We're not that different. We're really not that different. So, you know, if you met me on the street, you would have no idea. But here I am. So anyways, I'm done rambling. I'm going to go on and make the next video. Hopefully somebody watches it and likes it. I don't know. If not, oh well, it's for myself, for future reference to go back and look at, I guess, or just to log my journey, so to speak. Do not roll out of there, please. Okay, bye guys. I'll see you in a little bit. Bye.